Just share my screen. Can everybody see my screen now? And I am in agent.kw.com, which is the Keller Williams command platform. You use your MyKW username and password if you don't know how to get in. So we did the opportunity section the other day, so you would have to have an opportunity already created in your Keller Williams command account in order to access the compliance and the documents. So I'm just going to open up this little KW at the top so I can see the names of the applets. I'm going to click on the opportunities. And I'm going to go to all opportunities over here. And I'm going to click on the one that I want to use. Accept my cookies. And I clicked on the opportunity that I want to use. Your screen should look like this. I am going to go ahead and click the document section.
Ready?
Again, if you're not muted, if you could kindly mute yourself, that would really greatly appreciated. We're recording this at the moment. I'm just gonna go see if I can.
Hey, Katie, if you want to assign me as co-host, I can.
Yeah, let me try that.
While you teach.
I apologize, everybody.
Okay.
Okay, Leo, you're a co-host now? If you wanted to. Okay, I apologize, everybody. So I'm in the opportunity. I go ahead and click on the document section. And you can see that we have a compliance checklist here. And your market center may look different than this. They may or may not have done this already. It really depends on what's going on in your market center at the moment, but I know that most market centers have done this already. And then see there's the listed part. I scroll down, and then if you go to the under contract, this is the under contract documents that your market center requires for compliance purposes. And then the closed section. My compliance checklist may be different from your compliance checklist. Depends again on the market center. So if I wanted to, so just to backtrack a little bit, what you would want to do is put your opportunity in before you start your documents in Docusign. And then you would go and start transaction in the corner. I've already done that portion. So I'm going to go and I'm going to click add file right here next to the item that I want to add for compliance. So I click add file and I have options here. I can either add it from my computer and I can browse for it like that. I can go to Docusign because I already started that transaction in Docusign. If you did not start the transaction in Command first and then went to Docusign, you will not be able to backtrack to get that document that you would like.
Blunt speak in person, so just try not to be a delicate flower.
And then you can see that, you know, this is the one thing that I would want. I would click on it and I would assign it to the proper portion, the proper item on the compliance checklist. So for example, here's the add file. I go click to Docusign and that's the seller's disclosure. So I want to click and add the seller's disclosure form and go ahead and assign it to that line item for my compliance. And then when all of my documents are there, I would then go ahead up here and click submit to MC. And then on the back end, your MCA or your compliance coordinator would see that to then go in and approve your documents. So you can click in and see this here. And you can just see the form. If you were wondering if it was the right one, that's the only thing that you can't see is if you're going to add the file from Docusign, you're not able to see which file it is. So you kind of have to have your ducks in a row. You can only see it after you've assigned it, but you can replace it. So that's a positive thing. So I can click here and remove it if I didn't want that, if it was the wrong thing. And I can go ahead and add that file again. I can also add the file from a custom folder. So if I had my files living in this custom folder right here, I could enter it, let's say, you know, folder for Fred Flintstone. I can click here and I can have documents that maybe are not on my compliance checklist, or maybe documents that I've compiled from emails or whatnot. So for an easier access than looking for the email and attaching, you could add that over here by adding a document, and you can name it and everything. So maybe you want to have everything that's signed already live here that you've scanned in or gotten from another agent on the email side. And then you can also attach multiple documents at a time if you didn't want to go one by one. That's also an option. Just the basic thing is making sure you're going through each stage of the transaction. And then if you wanted to add an item, you could do that too, but I wouldn't add an item unless it was something that you thought that was needed for compliance purposes. And that's really the basics of compliance with the documents. Again, it's a market center by market center thing. So your checklist might look different than mine. Are there any questions?
Go ahead and mute yourself, guys, if you do have any questions about compliance.
I actually have a question, and I think within just 2 seconds, you've like clarified exactly what the issue was I was having. So thank you.
Okay.
The listing portion, the under agreement portion, and the closed portion are where all documents live totally separately from each other.
Yes, so they're different stages of the compliance checklist. So you're gonna have, you know, how some of the folders in your dot loop lived a little differently. That's exactly how it is listed out for you, making it actually easier for the agent to see what you have going on and not having to look. I used to have to look down, look up and see what do I have on my checklist. And now it just makes it so much easier.
Okay, I think I was dragging the dot loop, like, and we would submit things a little bit differently, but just a mass of document after document after document. And I was looking to get all of them into the closed section. And just now I'm like, oh, okay, well, hey, that's why it doesn't work that way, because they are intended to be 3 separate situations, 3 separate sets of documents in there.
Yes.
So, thank you.
Perfect.
For that.
You're welcome.
All hung up on that the whole way through. And I'm like, what is wrong with me that I can't figure this out? So, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a chat and a question in the chat. It goes, do you recommend putting documents in Docusign first? I know .loop for our MCA will be no longer. I wasn't sure what you think is best. So right off the bat with that is just make sure, guys, that we're disconnecting compliance and also document location from being one big entity. It's done 2 separate places, so they don't need to correlate anymore.
Right, and just to add to that, if you are not electronically signing that document, you don't need to put that in that document in Docusign. You can just add it from your computer after it's been executed and signed right to the compliance line item in Command.
And even if your market center does not utilize .loop anymore, you as an agent or you as a team can still utilize it on your own by paying that fee. And Command itself has the same integrations into like for documents back and forth as Katie just shown for Command for .loop and Docusign, so it's supported with both. And like Katie said, you can even do it by hand. There's no need to worry about, oh, what's my market center doing? It's what you as an agent is most comfortable doing at the moment.
Right. What is the fee again? Deborah, I'm not sure what the fee is to use .loop as an agent. You would have to call them and ask them what they're charging KW agents to utilize their service.
Okay, thank you. I just was curious.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome.
Katie, right back in the very beginning, I think you said something about if you started your transaction in blank, you wouldn't be able to do it like that. So I'm not quite sure what you.
Right. So if you decided to go directly to Docusign before you created your opportunity in KW Command, you would not be able to sync your transaction. It would duplicate it. And then you have documents living in 2 separate rooms in Docusign or .loop, 2 different loops. Because what happens is when you go and start the transaction from the opportunity, the room name is now the opportunity name. So it links it. Same thing with dot loop.
So Katie, just a clarification on that. So even if you name it the same in Docusign first, it
Mhm.
will not sync up back and forth?
It will not. No, you have to start it in KW command first
So
for
ma-
it to sync.
So make sure, guys, best practice, go through it through command, click that button, start transaction every single time.
It makes it easier for yourself as well to always access it through command because it takes you right to the room as opposed to having to sift through rooms or loops.
If you wanted to change the name of the room or the name of the transaction, can you do that? Will that also transfer back and forth?
I believe if you're in DocuSign and you change the name of the room, I believe it does transfer back and forth. If you change the name of the opportunity first and then back and forth, I believe it does transfer, but don't quote me on that. I have to try it out to see.
Okay.
Any more questions about compliance before Leo moves on to commissions? Okay, go ahead, Leo.
Very cool, guys. So now it's my turn to share the screen. So like Katie said, same thing with compliance. You'll need to start an opportunity before you can do anything commissions related. Same steps goes for buyer or seller for a commission statement. Before the commissions tab will light up and be clickable like this, everyone needs to put in an offer. The offer has to also be accepted before this lights up. So,
Excuse me, Leo. Excuse
Yep.
me, Leo. Are you able to enlarge the size of your fonts or something? It's really, really tiny.
maybe, please hold. Better?
That's better.
Okay, cool. Okay, so commissions will not light up unless you guys put in an offer. And make sure it is also accepted. If it is not accepted, commissions won't light up. So that's first thing when everyone's like, oh, why can't commissions work? Because offers isn't filled out. So now let's put in a fake offer. You can name it whatever you guys like. Offer, offer date, closing date. Once again, these dates can be can be augmented in the commissions tab or in the details tab. I suggest you guys do this when you first get your PNS or however your market center requires it. But for my agents, I tell them once you have that signed PNS, you know what's going on. Do a commissions tab because it helps all of us in leadership know projections for the month. So if we do, say, any house, parties, once again, seller. This is more or less for your informational tracking purposes as an agent. Pardon the puppy in the background. But this is more or less for you as an agent, knowing and keeping track of all your offers. Your buyers and sellers will not see this at all. So don't worry about, oh, do I need to fill this out completely? Or what about this information is going to get out to anyone else? So terms, again, cash, finances, sale prices. This is all from your deal. Let's do financing. And then this is where a lot of my agents also get hangups is the agent analysis. Once again, this is a part where you can utilize for your own tracking purposes. And in the future, with what command is going towards, this is going to be an option where you can send this out to your buyers or your sellers. But for right now, it's an option, kind of an optional item for you as an agent to use at your will. With that being said, you'll, yes, you will see this pop up, accepted or rejected. You have to click accept before the commission is actually live. See how I don't have anything selected right here? I can't click the commissions. So let's accept, bam, commission lights up. So with commission lighting up, this is a little bit different than what you're used to with green sheets. It is where everything's super simple, everything's super clean, and it only gives you what you need in the moment. Where green sheets, it basically gives you everything underneath the sun. So for here, you kind of have to search for what you need or what you want to do. With that being said, see how there's no add co-broke, but if in green sheets, you can add 1.5 million co-brokes. What you have to do is change the units to add a co-broke if you need it. So if we're doing 0.5, dollars.
Leo, when you say co-broke, don't you mean somebody in your office that you're
yeah.
sharing it with?
Yes.
I just want to
Thank you for
clarify that.
Thank you. So if you're doing a deal with a second agent inside your office, usually at the bottom of the green sheets, you'll have like basically 3-4 rows and whatnot. Here, you'll have to adjust both the unit and total commissions. Then the add agent button will come up here. Then it will let you select a secondary agent that you want to be paid with. And then once again, you'll have to do units and total commission. The units and total commission for agent number 1 and agent number 2 will have to equal this total amount right here, or else you'll get this very angry alert up here of what you need to do to fix so that it will be able to submit, because you will not be able to submit if there are big angry red items up here. So let me take out the second agent. And now co-broke. If you guys have a co-broke, the button is right here. And of course, you're only going to use this if you are the seller. With the co-broke information, I know some different market centers will ask for different information on green sheets. Now it's required that you have to have their tax ID number, their company information, address, and such like that. So requesting a W-9 with the co-broke's information is definitely key, and it might be something different for other offices. I know for mine, in the beginning, agents aren't really used to sending in their W-9, so it was an additional learning curve. But once adding in all the information right here, your co-broke will be added into your commission statement now. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. The system will tell you what is wrong and what you need to correct before it'll let you submit. So see how I fixed the units and the commission, and the angry red banner goes away and the submit button comes right up. With that being said, here comes the little nitty nuances of the item where most of these are filled out, but you have to do your KW Cares, your Kids Care, or even your Bold Scholarships if you want to donate to those, which I highly suggest you guys do. If you have any additional elements that you need to take money off, like bonus, concessions, reductions, inside or outside referrals, this will be done per agent basis. So live at each gray box of your agent. So this is agent number 1, myself. I can add a concession and how the concessions will be taken off. Over here on the right, we'll show you all the line individual items that are going to be taken off from, say, the concessions to co-brokes, the second agent or the first agent will all live right here. So nice, easy math out. One hiccup that is prevalent right now is that you cannot edit the E&O. So one place that you can, if there are 2 agents, is in the add notes section, where you can write a note to your MCA, your system MCA, or whomever processes the commission, how you want to split your E&O. So if there's 2 agents and you want to do 50-50 and such like that, best place to convey that is in the notes. Along that goes in the notes is also escrow releases. Unfortunately, there is no set box and you can put the escrow release, but notes is where that's going to live also. And then now when everything is ready, you add it in your notes, you add it to agents or one agent for yourself, co-broke or no co-broke, you just simply click submit to MC. Oh, and I guess it asks you for KW Cares once again. Once that has been submitted, there's nothing else you'll do. Just make sure that you come back to this and check every so often, because once it says submitted right here, it will also turn into, I believe, accepted. Once it's green and accepted, it means that your MCA has pulled it, looked at it, and this is all good. If not, it will turn into return, and you'll also get a notification up here in your bank that says whatever it is, say you're missing a co-broke, or oh, hey, I noticed that you have an escrow release that needs to be done. You'll get that notification and you'll get the opportunity to adjust this once again. So what that means is if you have already submitted it, it blacks out and grays out everything until your MCA returns it to you if it needs to be changed.
Leo, there was a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a way to bypass the address and the offer details, new construction, so the address won't populate? I don't know if you have another answer. I just said maybe you could put what it was listed in the MLS.
For the offers,
Yeah.
you can, I believe you can bypass it. But if it is a new construction, it will ask you to connect it to a KW listing service. And I believe you can just create an address in there too, which will populate here.
Right. Oh, it wasn't listed in the MLS. So it went straight to the builder. I wonder how that works. We're going to have to find that out, that information out. I'm not 100% sure if it's not listed in the MLS and it's a new construction, if you can bypass that.
Well, you can create one in the KWLS, I believe, and this is command feeds off KWLS independently from MLS too, right?
Yeah, but if you're on the buy side.
Oh, right. Okay, very true. We definitely have to look into that.
Leo,
Yes, ma'am.
isn't this just the way for us to be able to track it? So for whatever address that she would want to put in there, I mean, as an agent, that's what I would do. I'd put the address of which I wanted it to be for the offers. You don't have to pull it from anywhere. I think you could just type in whatever you want.
Let's try that right now.
I do it all the time.
Apparently there's a 123 North Main Street. Do you want to elaborate on how you just type in an address and it lets you accept it?
Because I've done it for all of mine. I just type in what it is. Like if I'm doing trainings,
Yep.
I just do like 123 Main Street, Dinosaurville. Like I do all silly stuff. So
That might be somebody just said, Bree just said that there's a manual option in the detail section of the opportunity. So if you go to details and edit that, you might be able to bypass it that way.
Huh. Let's try that, guys. Let me remove these. Let me actually just try a new one. Please hold. We'll definitely have to look into that, guys.
Any other questions? We'll have to look into that and get back to you all. Feel free to unmute yourselves if you have a question.
I had one, but now I can't remember.
Now, out of everyone that's on this call, how many of your MCs are actually using commissions right now? We got one from Elaine.
Not ours,
Okay.
Deborah said, not ours.
Okay, so let me pick you.
Victoria is.
So for Victoria, Elaine, how have you guys come up with any hiccups that you have seen on your end so far that I didn't mention already for hiccups when submitting a commission?
I jumped on a little late, so I'm not sure what hiccups you've already worked through, but no, we worked through a few at the very beginning, but it was just about the splits because we have some teams. I'm on a team, so there's different splits. We figured out how to manually do that. But no, Victoria, what do you think?
Hiccups that I'm finding are especially when somebody is capped on royalty, and I happen to be the MCA, so I know on my side that sometimes royalty calculates an extra penny, and it gives the MCA, it gives the person creating the commission a problem with sending in the correct commission amount, and we've had to kind of work around adding an extra penny to the commission, and kind of just then adding a note that, you know, penny needs to come off, just a little glitch like that.
Yes, that's beautiful, Victoria. So again, guys, the note section saves all. We as an MCA can fix this on the back end. So if it is little stuff like that, write us a story in the notes and we will fix it once it gets imported in on our side. Now, Elaine, how do you like this compared to green sheets? Do you think this is super easy and kind of quicker?
Well, I have to thank Victoria because Victoria pushed me to doing it. I fought and fought and fought. I was still doing the green sheets, and we probably do 2 or 3 a week. And she's like, why are you still doing green sheets? Why? It's so much easier. And I'm like, because it's just easier. And I didn't really have a correct answer. It was just quicker. I needed to move on to the next thing. And she spent a time with me, like an hour, like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and just walked me through it. And it's been no turning back ever since. Right, Victoria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're doing everything else in Command, why would you then go take the separate step to go back to green sheets?
Yep.
Bam. See, guys, for all the others that aren't using this, it is doable. If you put a little time and elbow grease into it, it is something that you can utilize and all live under one login and one place rather than running to here, running to there. Oh, wait, I need to open this tab. Nope. One place, one and done. All your information is right there.
Yeah.
Hey, Leo, did you go into how to do the inside, outside referrals on the commission?
I showed where to do it, but I can definitely go into more
And
detail.
then I do know that you can't change your, like if you're on a team and you have an E&O that you're splitting with another team member that's on that commission, you're not able to actually change it. So the notes section is another place to just let your MCA know that it's not splitting. You shouldn't be charged 2 E&Os. It should be split in half. However, your market center does that.
I have a question.
Yep.
So this was brought up to me and I couldn't find the answer to it. But where could the agents find where they're capping besides on their last transaction submitted? Is there another place in reports or anything that anyone is aware of that gives a tally of where they are in capping?
So let me share screens with you guys directly in another reason why command commission is awesome is directly in the commissions right here on the side. It will show you your current cap amount, both for royalty and for company dollars. Sadly, I have no transaction in my life as an MCA, so I still owe the market center plenty of money. But this is another place where you can find everything.
But is there another place that could be found besides going to your last closed transaction?
I don't
So
know of
this-
another place.
So this is actually, this would be done live. So if you are currently, say I'm closing on this house, this is your current cap right here of what's actually left. This is a live feed from what the MCA has or what the reports that you get have.
Right. But this was an agent that was high producing, so they were like, I don't know which one closed before which. So they were just wondering if there was another place besides that spot to find that information.
I don't believe so. I think they'll just have
I
to
don't
hit
think so
the
either.
MCA.
Okay. Just wanted to know. Thank you.
So now if we're going to look at inside and outside referral. So let's do an outside referral. It looks exactly the same as if you're adding a co-broke. You would put in, say, the amount, tax ID number, brokerage name, address, phone number. So once again, all this information can be acquired from the W-9 from your outside referral or your co-broke. Super easy and super simple. And once that is filled out, it will populate here on the right as your summary as a line item. See how simple it is, guys? It only took us 34 minutes to go over how to use commissions and also compliance. Is there any questions or comments that anyone else has? Anything that you guys would like us to work through for the remainder of the time?
You can find all of the tech recordings, somebody asked about that, on the New England Regional YouTube page. I did put a link in the chat box. That's where you can find all the recordings. So we're trying to do things in a row. So Opportunities was actually done before this. So you can watch that one and then watch this one again. And then there's going to be some more coming up after this.
And if the recordings are not enough with our pretty faces, KW University has everything, videos and step-by-step on how-tos. And how you guys would access that is through command. Top right is a little question mark. Once in that question mark, click KW University and then type in what you are looking for.
And I know I can speak for Leo as well. If you don't have a tech ambassador in your market center and you need additional help, you can reach out to any of us at any time, and we'll be happy to help you.
Correct. I'm going to include my email and contact information in the chat, guys. So I think we are done early, guys. If no one else has any questions, comments, or concerns, we are going to stop recording and enjoy